let's generalize what are the best practices when designing an onboarding process. And tests or KYC or AML. KYC is like know your customer, and AML is anti-money laundering processes. All in all, onboarding is driven by the needs of these processes. So to do it well, I think it's wise today to do it mobile friendly at least, and perhaps even mobile first or mobile first. Mobile first, like this one, the hero, it happens often because of low quality of video cameras in the PCs or laptops. So and lack of some interfaces like NFC or geolocalization. For these reasons, you may opt for mobile first or mobile first onboarding process, because we will have access to such devices or interfaces. And also a lot of users, especially natural persons and retail customers, do use it, do like it, and it's has more context or places where it can be used and done, at least started. Another point we saw, it's coined here as conversational. So to gather it in small steps, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. If we have enough time, I will show you some process we did for crowdfunding, gathering data in purely conversational manner. In this process, we saw it also kind of conversational, because there were sometimes two fields or more fields on one screen, and an instruction how to fill them. It could be only one field on a screen, but that's, let's say, a matter of choice. Then something we did not experiment here with or try to benchmark it, it's the process abandonment handling. So if the onboarding user loses his patience, has some interruptions, his doc is, I don't know, doing something, and he will drop out of this process, stop this process on any step, then it's important to handle it and not force him to start the process over from the very beginning, again entering all the data. Then the probability that he will re-enter all the data, it's, let's say, quite low, and he needs to be really motivated to enter a lot of data again from the scratch. So it's crucial to persist, so-called, this data, or save this data with which he already entered, and allow him somehow to re-enter this process, whether via link in email or by logging, when he logs in back to the app, that he could continue the process in the app. Also, you could design this process that if it's worth it, you might, for example, take that event that the customer probably dropped out from the onboarding process, and, for example, create a task in customer relation management software or call center software to facilitate that process with call center or with reminder, and also integrate or use like marketing automation tools to design this abandonment process handling, like reminders and sequence of emails asking, reminding to finish the process, or perhaps even incentivize somehow those users who dropped out. So give him some, I don't know, bonus points, additional card or better product or whatever, something which will in your business be adequate and motivate him to get the process to the really end, because that's the part where you convert a prospect to a customer. And it's important not to lose money you invested in marketing or promotion, and that's processes in fintech world, it's, let's say, quite challenging, quite long. It's far more complex than normal card in e-commerce world. So you don't want to be losing money in that process. So it is important to handle this cart abandonment process or process abandonment and make most of the possible of the sales funnel, let's say. So most of the prospects coming to your onboarding process and then becoming actual customers. Progressive data gathering, that's a concept again a bit connected with previous points. So make it conversational and allow user to get back to the process, and of course you need to gather this data in some steps. It might be also possible to adjust data gathering steps to the process of sales process. So you could very early gather, for example, email for your newsletter, or open like a dummy account or empty account, which allows this person only to log into the app or to the web portal. And then when he decides to invest in something or make some transfer or start using it, to gather other needed data. The hero does it in these adequacy tests or MiFID tests. There are a lot of them, but you do not need to do, I think, any to like just have the account. You do need to do the first one with the first choice of financial products you want to use, and later you could go back to some area in your application and start tests for more advanced products like derivative products or leverage products or ETFs and so on. And that might be something useful or something good to have in mind if you are a stockbroker or a platform which offers various products which may require various data. Another point is, don't ask if you can extract. We mentioned the case of proposing an address by your geolocation. That's one thing you can extract. Other things are the data from the IDs or national IDs, or some local possibilities, like in Belgium, they have like EID card, which has all the data, and by the way, it's like a binding signature. In Poland, there is something like a PUAP or Moje ID, which are like growing e-identity, which also have a lot of important data, like at least first name, unique identification number of the person, and also offer like a binding signature. In Sweden, I think they have something like bank ID, so you could also first extract some data from the bank ID. And if this would be legal entities, you have a lot of you have registers of legal entities where you can extract interesting data too, and you do not need to ask the user to enter them. You may just ask him to verify them, or that would be it. We saw here also nicely OCR'd data from the passport in the hero process, and then they were asking only the user to confirm that it was OCR'd as it should be, so without some mistakes. That I would say is a cost efficiency to make the user check the machine, the OCR, not for example back office, but that's again a choice of the hero. Another point is keep it omni-channel, so allow the process to continue on different devices, and if it's broken, even much later than it's initially started. Some parts might be not possible, like this liveness check with camera or pictures of document or NFC, because it requires a mobile device. But tests, adequacy tests, or entering some other data could be done in laptop, and you want your user to be able to do it in mobile app, web app, and or your call center, and provide all of these channels to, let's say, gather the data to the one point and have the process in different channels, let's say. Possibly in some jurisdictions also Alexa could be used, or voice assistants, to have a conversational data gathering with a voice assistant. Yeah. Another good practice is that you should inform the user what will she need and how the process will look like in general. So make sure that the user is not frustrated because he started some process and I need ID, or I need passport, or utility bill. In some more, let's say, countries like England, I think it's or United Kingdom, it's quite popular to verify utility bills. And I also do like some processes which give some at least estimations how much time will I need to finish at least the closest sub process or process, to know when I actually can do it, and present it to the end user. So show some user progress bar or estimated time to the end of the process or the stage. We could show it here in the top of this app earlier, and some sub steps from this liveness check, for example. Yeah, there were like 3 sub steps for liveness check and some upper progress bar of these major stages. I think in that case might be not it was a bit too high level, too generic. We like got stuck on the first or second stage in this upper progress bar, but the following stages were like contracting and adequacy tests, so they were like separate ones, but I had impression that it was uneven, this progress. So the second step or first step took a lot of effort in comparison to the following steps. So might be something to improve.